Ladies and gentlemen, what's going on? Once again, I'm Nev from Nev's TOUGHBOOK, otherwise known as your friendly neighborhood basement dweller. But don't worry, ma'am, I am from the internet, and today we're going to be checking out this TOUGHBOOK, Panasonic FZ-55. I love this ruggedized stuff. Everybody wants super thin phones. Everyone wants really sleek, slow, small things. But man, give me something that's just built to last, that's rugged, and that you can trust over time. That's what I'm talking about. I don't care how it looks. All I care about is how I function. But this thing still looks sexy, and it looks like this thing could absolutely stop at 22. So anyways, right here, as you see, I wouldn't recommend you doing that if you have a platter drive, that's for sure. But this thing actually feels like it's aluminum, like it's not a plastic mixed with something else that ends up feeling like plastic. Spun metal, that's what I'm thinking. Spun metal feels like aluminum, but it's actually kind of aluminum and plastic. Anyways, we get a little handle here. We get so much going on here, so much good stuff. 2 batteries in there, and here we can see the battery life basically, and is represented by a color. Red means low, green means high, yellow means intermediate, and the color changes as time goes on, clearly. So here we have no keyboard flex. There's no flexing here, man. No flexing. The F11 button is off on its own. I have no idea why. They got a little border around it. Maybe so that your friends don't smash. But why F11? Why is it red? I'm pushing the red button. Is this a self-destruct? Am I going to explode? Nothing's happening. That's no fun. Anyways, let's take a look at some of the features that we got going on here. Of course, we got the Panasonic TOUGHBOOK front. I had an older version, a dual core, and it also looked like it could stop at 22, or some bird shot anyways. Oh, and in the back, we can actually upgrade things. I didn't realize that initially. Looks like that's the fan. I'm imagining that that's probably where the RAM is. I'm going to have to get into this later. I'll be right back with that stuff. Anyways, on the back, we can see we got the fan blades. Over here on its right-hand side, we have a headset and micro SD card reader. Over here, we have one USB. Wonder what that is. USB-C, Ethernet, power. Over on this side, you look like you just have the ability to have a CD drive if you want to, but who actually does that these days? And a cute little locking spot. So, oh wait, here we go, HDMI, we got some HDMI and another USB in the back. So there's a lot to be said about that, that's for sure. Here's a look at the power brick. We got DC 15.6 volts. Not to mention we have an interesting little slider thing, so if you don't want the NSA to see you, you don't mind them hearing you, you can just slide that closed and slide it open again. So now that we're here, let's talk about what we got on the inside. We got 8 gigabytes RAM, DDR4, I believe, i5, 8th generation, 4 cores, 8 threads, Intel UHD graphics, 620. Of course, that's not really much, but if you're using this thing, then you're probably not out there to be playing a whole lot of video games. You're out there to get something done, to get it done right, and then you can come home. But either way, let's take a look at the benchmark. Passmark benchmark 10, of course, is what we'll be using here. This is what I benchmark all of my stuff with, and I definitely recommend that you have a look at it. Okay, right out the gate, DirectX 9, we got those shit flying around, 26 frames per second. I had it 33 a second ago, but next up, of course, we have DirectX 10 going at about 10 frames per second. Not so bad, being penalized 5.45 frames per second for not being able to reach 10. Next up, we're looking at some DirectX 11, getting about 23 frames per second. Relatively good tilt and turn there. Alright, blasting out of hyperspace at 17 frames per second. Here we got DirectX X12. Not so bad considering that this is supposed to be a rugged system. This rugged system definitely seems to have about the same power as a median build system. So I'm pretty sure this thing costs about $3,000, but it runs about as fast as a $1,200 system would be. And it can stop a bullet. Okay, so this is the 3rd time that I've tested this unit, and I swear to God, every time I test it, the score goes down a little bit. I had, the first time I had just over 1900. But anyways, next up, let's throw some honest to goodness video games at this thing and see how it does. Next up, let's try out some Fortnite. We're not doing so bad in the waiting area. We're getting about 60 frames per second, and it looks like many of the characters have their skins. Okay, we're loading in. We're in the sky at 14 frames per second. Of course, in player mode, we have the bus here. It doesn't look so bad. Jumping out, descending at 12 frames per second. Not the best, perhaps. Did I say player mode? I meant performance mode. Owie. So it is definitely playable. so it's definitely playable on this system. Next up, we got Grand Theft Auto playing at 24 frames per second. So yeah, this system definitely wasn't meant for gaming. But every time I do a laptop review, everyone wants to know how well that these two games will play on it. Oh, look at the cute little car that I picked. Anyways, it'll get you by if you really want to play a game. But the thing about this unit isn't that will it play a game, it's more like will it play a game in the middle of a battlefield? Can I drop it into a puddle? Can I kick it down the road? And I'm going to tell you, yeah, you can. Maybe not all day. This thing is going to break eventually, but it's got what you need for the basic stuff, and it's really rugged. Once again, not meant to play video games, but meant to be totally rugged. Alright, so as promised, I took a look at some of the panels off of here, and we got 2 spaces for DDR4 RAM, got an 8 gig stick here, nothing in there. Pulled out these 2 panels, and it looks like all we got is extension ports, but to what? Not too sure. Can't exactly find where the hard drive is. I suppose it could be under here. It requires security torques, and I think I've taken this thing apart enough for the here and now. But anyways, ladies and gentlemen, like and subscribe if you like this kind of stuff. It's always appreciated. And as always, folks, take care of each other, will you? Holy crud, wait a sec. That's the SSD. Look how modular that is. Look how cute. I love it. I love it.